Do you recall how many prior to the was?
Before we move on, I'd like to know an objection for the record about relying on lane results and for this, I believe that that's hearsay. So the result of the search is it's an assertion, it is from a computer system, but at some point it's an assertion put in there by someone who's not present. We don't have a certified record of those prior convictions. I'd just like to know that.
Noted for the record. I'm ready when you are, Mr. Muhammad.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you please restate your name for the record?
Chantel Elney.
All right, Ms. Elney, I'm going to take you back to the date of September 21st, 2024. Were you at the location or near the location of Merriman Road near Smith Road?
Yes,
That located in the city of Romulus, County of Wayne?
I assume so. I don't know that for certain. I'm not from around.
I'll take judicial notice that it is.
And when you were at or near that location, did you observe something that drew your attention, or did something draw your attention?
Yes.
What drew your attention?
We were sitting at a stoplight getting ready to turn. The stoplight turned.
Wait.
My husband and I.
Okay, and what were you doing at that location?
We had just left the speedway
Okay,
and we were headed back to a hotel.
okay. And where were you exactly? Were you in a vehicle? Were you outside?
Yes, we were in a vehicle. We were stopped at the stoplight. The stoplight turned green and I saw something coming, headlights coming in the wrong direction. So I didn't go. And then this car passed by us going in the wrong direction. It hit a bus, flipped a bus, jumped a curb, and then it disappeared. And a couple of minutes later, it came back going the right direction. And in a couple of barrels.
I would object to the area, but I don't think the witness is free.
Fair enough. A little bit more Q&A.
Okay. And you indicated you saw the vehicle come back, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and when you saw the vehicle come back, what did it do?
it was moving pretty fast. I believe it hit 3 or 4 or 5 barrels because there was construction going on in that area.
Okay, and what happened next?
It disappeared. It went around a corner or, went farther down the road than it.
Okay, and do you recall what kind of vehicle it was?
I do not. I know it was a car, not an SUV or a truck.
Okay. And what did you do next after you made your observation?
We waited for the light to turn again. We drove straight through the light into, I think it was like an airport parking type of lot. Kind of pulled over to the side of the road. I called 911.
Why did you call 911?
Because this guy was driving the wrong way on a one-way, for one thing. It looked like he flipped the front of the bus. So I didn't know if anybody in the bus may have been injured. And clearly he was not driving in the right direction.
Okay, and you indicated on the last question that stopped. Did you observe the individual driving?
I saw him enough to know it was a male and a white male. Beyond that, I couldn't tell you because it was dark out. He went by very fast and it's been 9 months.
Okay.
But I do recall that it was a white male.
And do you recall any other description, any other things that you mentioned in regards to this description? The police?
I don't. I mean, I would say he was probably of average height, just from what I could see through the window. But much beyond that, like I said, it went by too fast and it was dark.
Okay, and when the police responded, did you make a witness statement?
I did.
Okay, do you believe that having an opportunity to review that would help refresh your recollection in regards to the description of the individual?
Yes, if I stated in the statement a description, yes, that would help me.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
Please.
Your Honor, is it all right if I put my glasses?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm with
A
you.
moment and review the report, and if your memory's been refreshed in regards to that individual's description, just let me know.
Yeah, it does. It does remind me of the description.
Okay, and what was that description that you recall?
He was not completely bald, but shaven head. Probably 40 to 45-ish in age. Not heavy built, but bigger built. And probably average height.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to take a look in the courtroom and let me know if you can recognize that individual here. If you can't, it's okay, just take a look in the courtroom, okay?
I object to that is. It's a very vague description, it's quite suggestive, environment to refresh the witness's memory of an individual using a written report from 9 months ago, and then I just wrote.
Judge, I would disagree. I'm asking the witness to look into the courtroom and tell me if they recognize whether they see that driver of the vehicle. I'm not asking her to point to a specific person. Many people can be missing hair on the top of their head in the courtroom. So I'm not suggesting that it's a specific person. She's actually an attorney, so I'm taking her for her word. She understands what she's being asked to do. And so she's being asked to look into the courtroom. If she can recognize the driver, great. Can't, that's okay as well. I believe there's more testimony that's going to be on this record. I'm just simply asking her to look in the courtroom and tell us if she can identify a driver of that vehicle. That person's here in the court.
Anything else, Ms. Waller?
No, you're here.
All right. I'll allow the question to go forward, if you remember the question.
Yes, I do. I can't say with absolute certainty, no.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that answer. And did the police arrive?
Yes.
And what did you do when they arrived?
My husband and I explained to them what we saw. They were there briefly, and I believe one of the officers went to speak with either the bus driver or like a supervisor or something of the bus driver. They asked us a couple of questions, and then the gentleman, police officer, came back and said, "We have to go." And they asked us if we would wait. And we said yes, and then they left.
Understood. Do you recall, did you observe that the officer speak to the defendant, the driver of that vehicle?
I did not.
Okay. No, anyone.
Your witness, Ms. Rowland.
So, I apologize for immediately asking the audience, but you were driving your own vehicle when you saw this, right?
Yes, I was.
And this was late at night, right? This is like 10:30.
That sounds about right, yes.
And there was no point where this car was like paused in front of you where you could get it clear and look at the
Right.
and you didn't participate, like you said, with the police in like investigating anything after what you just told them what you saw.
They did come back, and they had asked us before they left, my husband and I, if we would write witness statements.
Right.
So I wrote mine relatively quickly. My husband was, I think, a little shook up.
Okay.
So he didn't write his as quickly. When they returned.
I should clarify what it is. You didn't go and look at the car that they.
No,
right?
no.
Okay. And similarly, you didn't go and get a face to face with the driver.
Right.
Okay. No further questions for this witness here.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the officer in charge is welcome to the court. I'll request for an exception in regards to the order of sequestration.
No objections?
You don't anticipate that I'll testify
Thank you.
He may be testifying.
today.
It's possible, depending on what I hear from the officer involved.
In that case, there's definitely an objection, actually. And
Do you need him for anything? You were doing pretty good without him. No offense, Corporal.
Step outside.
Thank you. Mr. Mohammed?
My apologies.
Well, don't apologize to me. Apologize to the witness that's still waiting to see if you're done with her.
No further questions.
Thank you. How far did you drive to come down here today?
From Midland.
Thank you for being here. And how long did they make you wait on the scene?
I'm gonna say maybe 20 minutes.
Well, thanks to you and your husband both for being good citizens. Drive safely back home.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the people called Mr. Daniel Buller
Tim, if you would, Daniel Bullock,
Yes.
are you gonna make him say his name on the record?
I can.
Okay, then I won't.
Okay. I know you asked, but I wanted so when they're looking at the record, they see exactly what I'm talking
So-
about.
I don't believe this is a witness of this list. This is what it calls it. Discovery.
Often the defense attorney coordinates calls with the defendant. It's kind of nice.
For the record, Your Honor, this witness was not listed in the witness list provided by the prosecutor's office. He is listed in the case report. So I don't think I can object to his testimony today, but I want to make that clear.
Record is clear. Sir, come on up. Watch your step on my incline ramp right here. Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth today? Yes, sir. Settle in that chair right there. Make yourself comfortable. When you're ready, Mr. Muhammad.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Can you please state your full name for the record and spell it, please?
Hi, my name is Daniel Bullock.
I'm going to ask you very loud,
It's Bullock.
a little bit.
It's Daniel Bullock.
Thank you.
DANIELBULLOCK.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, I'm going to take you back to the day of September 21st, 2024. Were you at or near the location of Merriman Road near Smith Road?
It was near Flint.
Okay, so you were near Flint?
Yes,
All right. Is that in the city of Romulus, County of Wayne?
yes,
Did something happen at that location on that day that led you to court today?
yes.
What were you doing at that location?
I was waiting at a traffic light at Lynn and Marion, northbound.
Okay, what were you doing at that location on that day?
I was driving a bus.
Okay, and why were you driving a bus?
I was driving a bus for the Smart Regional Authority.
Okay, and did something happen to you on that day and when you were in the bus at that location that was secured?
Yes, a vehicle approached the bus head on and hit the bus twice. Hit the bumper and also hit the side of the bus.
Okay, this vehicle that collided with you, do you recall what kind of vehicle it was?
It was a small gray car.
A small what?
Small gray car.
Okay. Do you recall the make or model?
No, I was not able to see the make of the model.
Understood. And after this vehicle collided with you, what did you do?
I called for help from my dispatcher. My dispatcher called the police.
Okay, the vehicle that collided with you, did you observe the driver of that vehicle?
I only observed that the person had on a white t-shirt and they never got out of the car and never stopped the car.
Okay, and while you were at that location after the collision, did you contact the police at any point?
The police were called to the scene by my,
Okay, did you observe the police arrive at the scene?
yes,
Did you observe what the officers did?
yes.
What did they do? Did they make contact with the driver of the vehicle? Yeah, you saw that?
Driver of the vehicle, drove away and they searched for the vehicle and found my purse.
How do you know that?
The police reported that to me.
Understood. And you don't, just to confirm for the record, you don't believe you can identify the defendant or the individual that was driving that vehicle? If you see that the driver of that vehicle, do you believe you could identify that individual?
No, no, I believe that what I remember is that, the person was sitting in the vehicle and I could see only that they were in a t-shirt, that they, couldn't really see their profile because they were sitting down.
I understand. Okay, no further questions.
No questions, Ms. Hayes.
Bullock, thank you for your time today. Watch your step on my ramp. You're free to leave, free to stay. Mr. Muhammad.
We are calling Officer Dorsey.
Officer Dorsey, come on up. Raise your right hand for me. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth today? Settle in the witness chair, please. When you're ready, Counsel.
Thank you. Officer Dorsey, can you please state your full name for the record?
Officer Caitlin Dorsey.
Can you please spell your name?
First name C-A-I-L-N. Last name Dorsey, D-O-R-S.
Thank you. Officer Dorsey, are you currently employed?
Correct.
Who's your employer?
The Ramos was son.
And in what capacity are you employed there?
And the officer.
Were you employed in that capacity as a patrol officer on September 21st, 2024?
Correct.
Did you work that day?
Yes.
You worked that day by yourself?
I am a guard officer.
On that day, you worked in full uniform or modified uniform?
Fully.
And on that day, operate a scout vehicle or did you work foot patrol?
A sound people.
Was the scout vehicle fully marked or semi-marked?
Fully marked.
And on that day of September 21st, 2024, did your duties as a police officer take you at or near the location of Merriman Road and near Smith Road?
Correct.
Is that located in the city of Romulus, County of Wayne?
It is.
Well, being at or near that location, what took you to that location?
Initially I called a vehicle, a ditch, there's a couple of feet in front of the exactly, first,
Okay, and when you made that location, what did you do?
initially I saw the vehicle ditch, and the driver was still inside the vehicle.
Okay, can you describe this vehicle?
It was a silver sedan.
All right, and upon making that observation, what did you do?
The driver was still hitting the axle. He trying to get out of the ditch. So when I approached, some of the drivers came, cut the car off for me, or to step out.
How many individuals did you observe inside of the vehicle?
Just one.
Now, that one individual, I know you've already suggested where they were sitting, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Where was that individual sitting? That vehicle?
In the driver's seat.
Okay, now that individual that was seated in the driver's seat, that individual in the courtroom today?
Yes, I did.
Where do you see that individual in the courtroom?
I was standing behind you, and
You said standing?
started sitting behind you.
Okay, can you please point out an article of clothing that individual is wearing and point to that individual?
The gentleman sitting, right here with the white t-shirt on.
Your Honor, please let the record reflect the witness as identified.
Noted.
Thank you. And do you recall what that the defendant was wearing that day?
I do not recall.
Okay. And what happened when you made contact with that individual?
When I was getting on with you, still, like I said, the driver was in the gas. He was trying to go out of the ditch. I then advised him to go to the car off from me, step out of the vehicle. Got a hard time to go to the legally in there.
So what do you base that observation on? You said he was visibly impaired. What led you to believe that?
He had a glazed look over his eyes, but I was child. Every time I try to speak to him, with the man, he's kind of looking.
This is where the case gets interesting. The officer is pointing to signs of intoxication, but those same signs can also come from a medical condition. So the real question is, was he drunk or was this a medical emergency?
There, he would mumble words.
What's wrong here?
Fans are whatever get him on.
Place marker.
And did you have your training experience with a police officer, are those factors indicative of anything?
Yes.
What is it indicative of?
Usually have to be influenced.
Okay, and so what happened next?
Next I was able to have him open the driver door. And I had to assist him out of the driver's seat. They barely did it.
And what happened next?
I just advised him to take a seat and I called for rescue. And we said he get back to me, they don't try to run the ball and get injured.
What happened after that?
After that, he came to, I was like, that's the name. Actually, was the very right there. And then I eventually searched the vehicle, and then in the first search terms of the vehicle.
And did you discover anything with the search of the vehicle?
Yes,
What did you discover?
there was a bottle of vodka in the over the front end. Over there.
Do you recall the exact name of the brand of beverage that you recovered?
Is it okay? I remember.
Would that help refresh your recollection? Is your memory good or refresh?
Yes,
And you recall the question?
yes, it was a bottle of Smirnoff.
Do you recall whether or not that bottle of Smirnoff was full or empty?
I believe it,
Well, I don't want you to just base it off belief. You know, it's yes or no.
I don't know.
Would having an opportunity to review the report help refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I propose
You may.
Please take a look at the report. Your memory's been refreshed. Just let me know.
Yes, my memory. So finished.
Okay. And do you recall the question?
Yes, so there's about a quarter of the alcohol inside.
And so after you recovered that, did you recover anything else?
Yes, I think there was a note that he had written. Was to his girlfriend, basically stating that it's just some words of breakup.
I would object to this is hearsay and also not relevant. The contents.
Here's their relevance, pick one.
I'll withdraw the question.
That helps.
And what happened after that?
We did, I asked him to get a preliminary drug test, to which he flew.
I don't want you to state the results of that. Really, but you did perform one, you said? Right. Okay. And what happened after that?
The mail was then transported by
Did you conduct any field tests?
I was able to use it. There was not station.
Alright. And so what happened next after that?
Once he transported to the hospital, I had to pass the total vehicle. Then I went back to the station, does a search warrant. Which then I said, you want my lane to go to the
Did you give any consent or did you ask the defendant whether or not to conduct a blood draw?
I did ask her in the, there was 77, which, as I said, he really responded to talk to me, it was, I had to point.
Okay. And was the search warrant signed by a judge?
Sure.
Alright. And so what happened after that?
Once I was able to get the warrant, I made the,
Did you observe the blood draw?
yes,
And was the blood draw using a MS blood kit?
yes,
And did you take the results of that blood draw and place it and do what with it? Did you recover it in the nurse?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you do with it upon taking it from the nurse?
One visit to the nurse, document involved, and then they place it into the loss of the
I'm gonna take you just a little bit back. When you had made contact with the driver of the vehicle, the defendant, you ever received a copy of his driver's license?
I believe I found his license, like, like I can say, was as a very excellent version of the issue. Welcome to the community. One thing that would be very sure as able to find driver's license.
And did you do anything with that information?
I read it through me, as I should.
And did you discover anything in regards to the defendant?
Even prior to the license.
Do you recall how many prior to the was?
Before we move on, I'd like to note an objection for the record about relying on lane results and for this, I believe that that's hearsay. So the result of the search is an assertion, it is from a computer system, and at some point it's an assertion put in there by someone who's not present. We don't have a certified record of those prior convictions. I'd just like to note that.
Noted for the record.
Do you recall how many prior OWI convictions discovered since your investigation?
I recall it was, I believe it was more than two. You remember this, was third.
What would it ask based off of what you're being charged with today, just based off of your personal knowledge, if you can recall?
It was more than one. Multiple.
But having an opportunity to report in this case, help fresh recollection.
Oh, sure.
I would just for the same reason that I have.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Sure.
I've handed you a copy of the report. It's being offered, handed to you purely for the opportunity to help refresh your recollections. If you review it and your memory hasn't been refreshed, then please let us know. And your memory is refreshed. And recall how many that you learned on that day?
Yes, two prior.
Okay. No further questions.
So, Officer Dorsey, you noted when you approached this,
Found it.
that it was pretty obvious you immediately was wrong, right? That he was not able to, sounds like, balance properly, respond verbally, looked kind of abnormal, right? And in response to that, you said FD, I'm guessing that means the fire department, okay. And you did that because the fire department has some additional medical training that police officers don't necessarily, right? So they can assess people for things like, say, a head impact or a stroke. Yes, right. And while you were present and the fire department began to do their initial assessment, Mr. Barry, they were asking you questions about those kinds of things, right? Yes. And they asked him if he was someone who suffered seizures, correct? Correct. And he answered in the affirmative. Correct. Right. So he said, yes, they do have seizures. Correct. And that he had it in his head. Correct. And that he suffered from birth. Yeah. And they took him into the back of an ambulance, right, on the scene.
This is a strong move by the defense. Seizures, head injuries, even strokes can create the same symptoms. And if there's reasonable doubt here, the entire case starts to weaken.
And they, in the ambulance, were working on ruling out what could be causing him to have the affect that he did, right? Yes. Okay. And while they were interacting with Mr. Berry in the ambulance, assessing him, you asked him for consent to a PET, correct? Correct. Okay. And at that point, some of the fire department had expressed some concern about his ability to move his mouth at that point, right?
Correct.
And were you able to observe also that he was having difficulty moving one side of his mouth?
Pretty easily.
Okay. But you nonetheless had him blow into the PPT?
Yes.
Okay, and while you did that, there were a few moments where you had to remind him to blow and not suck into the PPT and to seal his lips, right?
Correct.
And despite that, you only did one blow.
Correct.
You didn't breathe, that's right. Okay, and you testified on direct that you did ask Mr. Ferry about his chemical test rights, but you weren't confident in his ability to consent at that point because there's medical admission. And I feel free to summarize back to me if I summarize your.
The reason why I wasn't really confident about it, I did. Yes, I was 7 rights to. This time really before and people here. There was stand zone. There was your intoxicants and a from golf guy and trying to be questionable time.
But the reason you gave on direct is that it was confident, right? And that you didn't feel confident in his answer.
I mean, I asked to make sure that he understood what I was asking.
Okay, and it's now for providing this additional system, right? Okay. Just verbal response.
Yes.
Okay. And you said that for that reason, you also executed a search warrant.
Correct.
And you write a report in every case that results in a request, right? Right, your job. You wrote a report in this case. And you make sure that your reports are accurate to what you did.
Correct.
Especially about something as important about whether or not you saw a warrant.
Correct.
And if I could approach the.
Sure.
This is a section of your report. I just want to point you to this.
And here's the biggest twist. The officer just confirmed there was no actual search warrant. That puts the legality of the blood evidence in serious question.
Let me know when you're done reading it. Just see was it the warrant. So in fact, you did not execute a search warrant in this case. Is that correct that you did not?
Yeah, your votes.
Okay, thank you. And you transported Mr. Harry to the hospital, correct? Your partner did.
Oh, the fire.
Your fire department. So you did not remain within there. You did not observe the blood draw.
I'm sorry, were you guys already on scene or?
With Mr. Perry at the hospital.
Yeah, once I got done with in the research, then I went to the hospital for the blood draw.
Did you, while you were on scene, did you go at any point to observe the car crash scene that other officers believed might have been related to the bus?
No, Officer Shea Pappas and Officer Phelps were called to the initial accident that occurred when our shuttle.
Okay, so you didn't have a conversation with the witnesses, they were.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Muhammad,
No further question.
Officer Dorsey, you can step down. Any further witnesses from the people?
No, thank you.
Any defense witnesses?
No, you're good. Thank you.
I'm ready for argument.
Your Honor, I'm going to motion for a bite over. I believe the testimony reflects. I believe the testimony reflects a question of fact to the charge.
Your Honor, I'm going to actually bind over. Argument is going to go. Officer Dorsey testified that the fire department at the time that she was seeking consent for this blood draw that was ultimately conducted was being, so Mr. Ferry was being cleared of some fairly serious definitely several aspects of what's happening. Whether they've just had a seizure, that details something called a seizure aura, where your affect is deciding strange and affects your balance, your motor skills, your ability to speak both before and after a seizure, and quite obviously affect your driving. I don't think I need to explain that before. Similarly, vertigo and having hit your head during a impact driving into a ditch, both would be very likely to affect things that would also be affected by alcohol consumption. And so the fire department was called in to assess if Mr. Ferry was suffering from those conditions, and they were still actively conducting that assessment at the point that Officer Dorsey asked for consent for a search of his blood. Now, obviously, someone is voluntarily intoxicated, that doesn't negate that they to a certain case law that says that. However, if you have suffered a seizure, you have just hit your head, your cognitive abilities are affected independently by something other than your level of intoxication that would negate the consent given for the blood.
I'm gonna stop you because I got 3 more exams today and I'm confused. Are you arguing that he didn't give consent for the blood draw? Because
Consent for the blood draw is not valid because
it doesn't need to be. She got a search warrant.
she did not. She testified cross-examination that she in fact did not get a search warrant.
Yeah.
You got a problem.
So we would ask the court to dismiss if it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Why did she not get a search warrant? Why was there no search warrant? Case dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Counsel, I told Heather it's not every day, but it's a nice little touch when they color coordinate.
Life was the nice things they colored.
Yeah,
Both of them hurt.
I didn't think so.
And that's where everything falls apart. No warrant, questionable consent, and just like that, the case gets dismissed. One small procedural mistake can destroy an entire case.